to the great New York Times, great Jeremy Peters.
Good morning, Mr.
Hi,
Trump.
Jeremy.
How are you? There's no doubt that last night Fox went straight for you. They knew where to turn the screws, where the good TV would be. But I wonder if you worry that by picking a fight with the media, you risk leaving the impression with your supporters that basically there's no question anyone can ask you, that everything is off limits.
Well, I thought they were unfair questions, Jeremy, but I mean, I can handle it. I think I handled it well. I was congratulated by everybody up on the stage. They couldn't believe what was happening because they were getting softball questions, and they couldn't even believe what happened. Now, maybe they were just being nice to me, but, you know, they were tough. I don't care that much. I would have rather had maybe a different type of question. You know, the question on the women, I didn't say many of those things. They said something, and they were giving out some words, and I don't remember that on The Apprentice, and I don't know where they got some of these words, to be honest with you. In fact, I'm going to have somebody call up and find out where these words came from, because I don't recognize those words. Not that I'm an angel, by the way, but I don't recognize those words. So, you know, she was spewing out these words, and I'm sitting there, and, you know, when I said the Rosie O'Donnell thing, the room broke up. In fact, it was the biggest, you probably saw, it was the biggest event in terms of sound and in terms of combustion in the room. It was the biggest event of the evening. I mean, and it really threw her off. It was very interesting because it totally threw her off. She thought, you know, this was going to be a cakewalk, and that really was an interesting moment, if you want to know the truth. But I don't recognize the words that she was giving me, that I said this, I said that, and some of those things I don't think happened, but we're going to have it checked out.
Yeah, Al Hunt is with us from Bloomberg. Al.
Hello,
Let's
Al.
pick up on that, Mr. Trump. You want to continue this battle with Megyn Kelly? You said something later last night that you thought that she had been unfair, as you just reiterated today. Can we see a Trump-Kelly slugfest in the next couple of weeks?
Well, I don't care. It's not that important to me, to be honest with you. You know, I have a life. I have an interesting life. I have a good life. And it's okay. If she feels that she wants to do it that way, that's okay with me. But I just don't think it's very professional. I do say this, and I was listening to you folks and Joe before. If you're going to do that to me, I think it's great, but you have to do it to everybody else, or ease it up. But you can't do it to Trump. I mean, I walked out of that room, and people were saying that was really unfair. And if you look at Twitter, I mean, Twitter, it's all over the place. It's the biggest story on Twitter. It's the #1 story on Twitter now about, you know, the unfair treatment. So it wasn't just Joe and a couple of the folks that I'm talking to right now that saw it. I mean, people thought it was very unfair. Now, can I live with that? Yes. I'm very surprised at Fox News that they would do that, because, you know, I would say it's pretty unprofessional, but we will live with it. It's just fine.
Yeah, let me ask you about the bankruptcy question. There were some people